Live now. We are live here at Pizza for a Cause at the Bocca Lupo coal-fired pizza in Port Charlotte, Florida. And I'm here with my on-the-spot reporter, John Rawlings. John.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
How's it going with you so far today? Because I've been on air and off air. How are you doing?
I am doing fine. I'm getting a little bit tired, but you know what I'm going to do before, after you're done with your report up in Northport, I'm going to be ordering food, and I'm going to the one in Port Charlotte. It's closest for me to order some food to pick up because it's
what's your first name? Mariah just happens to be here, and it has been a crazy day. I'll just put the word crazy in front of it. But, if you do get your to-go orders, go through Mariah. It wouldn't hurt her, right? No. Wouldn't hurt her at all. And the money goes to what, Marie?
Each week on a Tuesday, the Bocca Lupo's choose a nonprofit, and if you go to their website, Bocca Lupo, and I have it up on screen. I think it's Bocca Lupo Pizza.com. You go to it, and if you're nonprofit, well, you can order there, and that's what I'll be doing. But also, you go there if you're a nonprofit and you're in Charlotte County or Northport, you can put in for Pizza for a Cause. And what these generous owners do, and that's the Valentinos, they give back to a nonprofit or a school organization once a week, part of the profit that they get on that Tuesday. And I believe that they've given out between that and their 5K runs over $100,000 each year. That's great. Yeah, and we're here for Giving Tuesday, and we want to highlight Bocca Lupo coal-fired pizza, because they are the true gift to a community of what it means to give back and about what philanthropy really looks like. Is that right, Mariah?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you been here?
I've personally only been here for about 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
That's still a good run, right?
Yeah, so far so good.
Have you seen it crazy in here, busy-wise?
Oh, yeah, there's times where we're just completely full, and there's a line out the door waiting on tables to be sat.
And you kind of like the environment, don't you?
Yeah, it's a nice place to work. Everyone's pretty nice.
What about the style of eat? Is it pretty good?
The food? Oh, yeah, the food's delicious.
Yeah, so, come in and check her out. She's been a great host to some of our people here. And, just her giving her smiles to them is worth $1,000. So somebody donate that. Just teasing. Yeah, you got to have some light-aired fun in here, And I trapped her into a corner. If you can see, I got her like pinned in so that we could do an interview with her. But she's really not set up for this, were you?
No.
But you know how much the business gives back to the community, right?
Yeah, we try to do a lot. Every Tuesday, like you said, we do the different and then also just in times like when the hurricane happened, we have first responders coming in. We make sure they get their pizzas. Hospitals, we donate pizzas to, like whatever we can do for the community.
How does that make you feel as a worker?
I like it because I like to be a part of that. So it just makes you feel good trying to give to people. So when you work for a company that also gives back to people, it's
awesome. And they do a lot.
Yeah, they do.
But I appreciate your time on the air. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Mariah.
So we're going to slide over here, and, I jokingly asked them all what their names were, and they all said their name are Karen, but they all pointed at one in particular. So I'm going to slide you over to Karen here real quick and let you talk to Karen.
Okay. Hello, Karen.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend.
Now, Karen, tell us a little bit about Pizza for a Cause and how much they've actually helped the Northport Arts Center, the Bocca Lupos.
Well, This is our second one this year, and we had one earlier, and we did very well. You know, they're so good to everybody and so attentive. These waitresses can't do enough for you. So
And who are you with?
I'm with Carol Dawkins, and I'm with Cheryl Fidel and her husband Bob, and Jane Gates, who are all members of the Arts Center.
Yeah, what nonprofit do you represent?
We represent the Northport Arts Center.
And did you have damage during the hurricane?
I had very little damage, thank you.
And how about
Very
yeah, but the Northport Arts Center had damage.
Damage, yes, we did. We lost our pottery studio, and very, very little damage of the main building, thank goodness. But we're up and running with the main building, and you know, slow but sure, people are still suffering and waiting for repairs. So, you know, classes are a little bit smaller than normal. Some of the instructors aren't back yet, but come the first of the year, things should start rolling again.
Well, Carol, I was on your Karen, I was on your board for a while as a vice president, but because of illness, I had to resign. One of the things, though, is you have different board members with you and then volunteers. And these people do a lot for the Northport Arts Center. And not only them, other nonprofits out and their churches out in the area. What would you, this is your opportunity to give a shout out to all of your volunteers.
We have the best group of volunteers. There aren't a lot of us, but everybody puts in as much effort as they possibly could, and everybody gets along. We are known as a friendly arts center, and we just do whatever we can to help the community, and everybody's in together.
Okay, John, can you go over to Carol Dawkins?
Oh,
yeah, Carol Dawkins. Hi, Carol. Hey, tell the audience what you do for the Art Center, and it's all volunteer because what you do, I don't think I could do it. If I was younger, I could, but you're older than me, and you still do it.
Did she just call you out on the radio?
yes.
But she looks so much younger.
She does. She's kept herself up. Yeah.
Man. Okay. What I do with the Art Center is I'm with Art in Public Places, and we go like to Coldwell Banker, to City Hall, and our members, if they choose, they can have their art displayed publicly with the opportunity to sell it. So it's a good opportunity to become a member because you have so many more benefits.
Absolutely. No, who else is with you?
Oh, we have Cheryl Fidel. And
yeah, give us to Cheryl now.
All right.
All right, Cheryl, coming your way.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah. Now, Cheryl, what do you do at the Art Center?
Well, I run the gift shop, and that's a job.
Yeah. And you do that. You're a volunteer doing that, correct?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Gail just walked in.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how much time do you put in for that a week?
Quite a bit. Usually, well, I work 8 hours on Thursday. Usually, I'm there quite a while, and I go in during the week sometimes. Mondays, I'm always there. So,
yeah. And what we're doing today for our audience, you're listening to WKDW 97.5 FM coming out of Northport. We're actually live streaming on the radio, WKDW 97.5, on the internet, www.kdwradio.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter right now. So we are live, coming from all different ways. And if you're not listening to us, I'm sorry. We might be boring. I don't know, huh, Carol? Cheryl. Who else is in there with you?
Gail just walked in. Do you want to say
Okay.
hi to Gail?
Yeah, let's go over to Gail.
Oh my
Well,
God.
Gail, where are
Okay.
you?
My hair
Okay, Gail, here's your opportunity. Gail is actually with the radio station too. She's on the board of directors, and she's the secretary there, and she's also the secretary at the Northport Arts Center because one of her friends drug her.
Oh, yes. We know who that is. That was Marie.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't ever want to talk to me sometimes, right, Gail? Gail, tell us a little bit about your giving back, because you give back to everybody. You're one of the most giving people that I know, and Giving Tuesday showcases people like you.
Oh, that's yours. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We have some people that are heading out. So bye. Okay.
Live on air. This is live on air, and I'm on radio too, so we can't have any dead time.
Okay, we can't have any dead time. That's why I want to make sure we said goodbye to them. Giving Tuesday, I think more than anything, it's not just, as you said, giving money, but that's very important, but also giving to organizations, to giving to other people. One of the things that I found really exciting, I have to tell you, is the fact that after Hurricane Ian, people with the Rotary in Northport came all the way from Northport down to DeSoto County to my house to help clean it out. That is what Giving Tuesday is about. It doesn't have to be just on Tuesday. It can be any time of the year, any day. And that's what we look at, is people who are giving back, especially in times of need. It's just warmed my heart.
Yeah,
and I think part of that is the fact that I went to the Northport Chamber. I volunteered with the chamber for a number of years, walked in there, and Emily Shaw said, "What do you need?" And I said, "I need volunteers on Saturday because I have a dumpster being delivered on Friday." And she was all over it. And I asked why. And she said, "That's because you've been such an integral part of helping people in the Northport area at the chamber. And now you've got me involved in the Arts Center, and I am so excited to be part of the Arts Center. I love the chamber. I love the Arts Center. I love the radio station. And I'm going to get back and do more with the radio station now that I'm going to be a little closer to Northport than I was in the past.
right.
As I told someone, I lived in DeSoto County. Now I'm sleeping in Northport.
And we actually used you as a prime example of the Northport Chamber giving back, because they even went and were helping with serving meals. I would see Bill and Emily running and helping serve meals when they were preparing meals in the community. And around the community, they are still doing that. But Gil, you're always a giver, and you're a Toastmaster too. And you've really put in a lot of time into Toastmasters also.
Well, part of it is because I like helping people. And I think sometimes if you have that positive attitude, if you help other people, it's going to come around later. They're going to help you.
And that really proved it too, didn't
Yes.
it?
Oh my gosh. Big time. Yes. So thank you very much. And I guess there's a man standing up here. I don't know if he's going to take this away from me or not.
You know John.
He thinks I want to keep it all night.
She's willing to stay on air until at least midnight.
Oh wait, no, I came to eat.
No, John has to get up to the Northport.
I know. I just talked to Dee Dee, and she's going to be there. They're looking forward to seeing John up there.
Okay, so
thank you very much, Marie. Love seeing you again.
Oh, you right. Too. And I'm actually going to be running up to this Bocca Lupo after I'm on air with John in Northport. Then I'll be ordering something and coming in and picking it up to go.
Wow.
And their food is fabulous. And they are
great food.
Giving community partner, that they do so much.
Yeah. Wonderful giver in the community.
Yeah,
back
absolutely.
To John. Back to John.
Hey, I'm back.
Well, John.
Yes.
We want to talk before you go into noisier Bocca Lupo, Coal Fire Pizza. We want to talk a little bit about John. John is a giver. We talked about you earlier when you were on air with us about the Buckeyes and how you have put together this. What do you call your group?
It is Twisted Buckeye Nation. We used to be the Northport Buckeyes.
And what do you guys do?
Huh?
What do you do?
We actually we started the group about 17 years ago, and we watched the Ohio State Buckeye games. And we started with 6 people. And with 6 people, we turned it into 40. Then we turned it into 100. Then we turned it into a couple hundred. And we would rotate people through the game. Started out at Beef O'Brady's in Northport. Outgrew Beef O'Brady's in Northport. Went over to Wings and Rings. Had to leave Blade and Price. Outgrew that. Went into Twisted Fork. And Twisted Fork gave us a room. And then said, hey, you got a big game. Why don't you try to take over the pavilion? Last year for the Ohio State Michigan game, we had over 400 people. Last year, we actually sponsored, because of watching football and making sure that things went according to plan, we actually sponsored 350 kids for Christmas last year through the Kiwanis organization. This year, I don't know how many kids we're going to sponsor, but we've already donated $1,200 to the Northport Kiwanis in conjunction with Port Charlotte, because Cindy, the regional director, was with us on stage last Saturday. We gave $300 to the motorcycle group enforcers who are working in conjunction with the Port Charlotte Police Department for Shop with the Cop. So they collected $400 from our group in donations at that same event where we were collecting donations for the event. And then we went ahead and had them up on stage and gave them $300 more. And we're also doing $125 into a veterans organization that they're collecting funds for at the Twisted Fork. So we kind of pride ourselves into being a football watching organization, a fan club of the Ohio State University Buckeyes, but we pride ourselves in giving back to the community based on what we do.
And you collect food for the week.
We actually, this year we've been collecting food, last year too, food and all kinds of canned goods for Awaken Church and their food bank. And we've been really had a good working relationship with Larry for years, and made sure that we, continue to give and give and give in that regard. But this year, because of Hurricane Ian, we started a sock and underwear drive along with the food drive. So we've been actually donating socks and underwear and food to try to help out wherever we can. So that's, in the grand scheme of things, Giving Tuesday is something we do every Saturday as Buckeyes. We make sure we give back to our community and watch the Buckeyes go on to victory, we hope. We had a rough week last week, but unfortunately we didn't win. But you know what? The community did. The community won huge, because we had over 650 people there to watch that game and to contribute to a lot of good causes that we actually announced on stage at halftime prior to even closing the event. So people do get what's going on, and people do want to give. You just have to put them in the right environment to reach inside their pocket and give a little more. But seriously, people have a lot of love for our community, a lot of love for the organizations that were there. And really, I think just a lot of trust and faith in the people who are running it.
Well, John, another thing you give is of your time. And one of the things that I wanted to mention about your time is you go and help volunteer at the Awaken Food Pantry. You help, I've seen you on pictures, not in person because I don't get out there, but I've seen that you have been out there helping with them.
Well, I do a lot. What I do for them is I actually go, I coordinate through Larry, and I do a lot of live shots for him the whole time to try to draw more attention to the program, because the truth of the matter is that church is running that organization And it is a separate organization. The food bank is truly independent, and they have to pay for the police officers. So the more attention that we can put on Awaken Church and the food pantry, and the bigger the cause that we can show and the need that we can show, I just think the greater gift that we can give at the radio station is to try to expose some of these programs that are out there, so that people who do have the means to, one, volunteer, or furthermore donate into the cause to keep those police officers out there. If we don't pay for the police officers through that program, the city of Northport is probably going to not let them have the food bank as much. So it is vital that we work in hand in glove as a community with the food bank. So anybody that's listening out there that really can donate, there's a lot of organizations out there, but let's try to keep the food bank open, because there are a lot of people in need, and times are tough for a lot of people out there, and the hurricane did not help. It has actually hurt us more, because we have a lot of people displaced now, and they're in different locations than they were. We listened to one earlier who came from DeSoto County and is now living and sleeping in Northport. But I think what we need to do is just open our hearts, open our minds, and really just reach out, even if it's $1. A lot of times we get into these situations where we have volunteers doing extraordinary things, but the dollars that come in sometimes get matched by very quiet donors, where they'll say, if you get $500, we'll match dollar for dollar. Well, your dollar adds up. Just think of it that way. You can do so much more for your community at the right time of the year.
Well, John, I actually during after the hurricane hit, you were the one that was going out there and boots on the ground and helping bring the eyesight to what we were seeing out there in the communities, instead of us looking at the other news.
Step out.
Yeah,
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Good. It's getting busy. Noisy.
Hold on. I'm going to slide out, but I want to show you something here. That's their kitchen, and their staff back there working hard. Give them a wave. Yay. Thank you very much. So I'm going to slide out here because they got a big crowd came in, and it's noisy in there.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd step outside and kind of entertain you from this spot.
Yeah, actually, it's really nice there. What's the temperature like?
I think we're probably about 79 right now.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad. John, I wanted to highlight, though, you were boots on the ground, and you always are, but boots on the ground after the hurricane, and you were the one that was getting a lot of people information of what was going on out there. You would go live on air when you can, and one of the problems that we had at the radio station is we didn't have our tower back up because of a lightning strike. We had the new transmitter, but we just got it in that week, and they never got the tower up. It's installed, but we don't have the tower back up yet. But I want to highlight, even with John here, he had to do his Buckeye game this weekend, and I reached out to him. John, I need you. He said, call me. Well, we got together even yesterday. It was only yesterday. And John is out there on the spot. And John, when we need you for anything, you're always there. And I'm really, from the bottom of my heart, say to the world, John, you are what Giving Tuesday is all about. You are the giver of anything. When I ask him, John, will you sponsor this? John, how can I do this? John is right there. So you are a difference maker in the world. You're a difference maker in my world.
Well, and you've been a difference maker in my world, because I think that most of the people that work at the radio station, and I use the word work lightly, I throw that in there, that word, because none of us get paid at the radio station. We all volunteer. We all give back constantly. We're in motion of supporting our community and trying to change the community from from what it is to what it's going to be. And that just doesn't include Northport. That includes all of our surrounding cities and counties that we've reached out and made a difference in. I think we've made a huge impact. Over the 4 years that I've been at the radio station, I see a massive difference in what we're doing, how we're presenting, how people handle things, what they do to talk about us in the community. We've got community leaders all over the place that step up and play their role at the station like never before, which makes us more of a value to our community than ever before. And I think that we just barely hit on the edge of what's coming. I know that there's more in the works, and I appreciate the fact that you point that out. But I got to tell you, as a realtor and a citizen of Northport, my love for Northport is 10 strong, and my surrounding communities, because I'm in them every day. I was in them before I was a realtor, and I'm in them now. And the truth of the matter is, I never signed up for what Ian brought. That's not what I did. The shock and awe of that whole event. I know that I was on air right up until my internet went down, because the truth is, at the radio station, I was the only one that had the means to do that. Besides Rich Suggs, and Rich Suggs wasn't even in Florida, and he was doing a great job on keeping us live on the air, giving play-by-play basically from afar. But when I went out of my house to take a look at what was going on, yeah, I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe what was happening. I just have to say that the recovery and the effort that was put in by everyone has been astronomical. It has been unbelievable. The pulling together of resources, the city of Northport, the way they've handled things, Charlotte County, the way they've dealt with everything. And I got to tell you, we were blessed, because while we think we got hit, Fort Myers, Naples, all that down there, complete devastation. Please keep them in mind. I think about them every day, because, we drive around and we look at blue tarps, we look at some tree debris, and we look at some flooded houses. And I'm not taking anything away from people who have gone through that, but man, if you can't get a wake up call from this and realize that if you have enemies out there, just go say you're sorry and ask them if they're okay. I'll give a quick story. And then my battery's getting lower, and I want to make sure we get to the other place, because doing these live presentations, it takes a lot of juice. And things that take a lot of juice out of a person is that I had a neighbor across the street, bless her. She didn't see eye to eye. And I kept trying to tell her, life is too short. You can't be this angry all the time. And checked on her all the way through, and post hurricane, still checking on her. Unfortunately, she passed away. And I told her son that one of the biggest things, the difference makers that she did for me, was one of the last times, actually it was the last time, that she came to the door for me when I was checking on her, was that she said, "John, you're a good man." And through all of the things that we had gone through all the nice things that my family and I tried to do, I will promise you that was one of the nicest things. I actually walked back in the door and I told my wife, I said, I can't believe she just made me feel this good. And it was simple words. Simple, simple, simple words. But if that person can do that in the condition she was in, what can we do if we just learn it's okay? And I've got to go because I want to do this show up in Northport, but I want to leave people with that thought. Change your momentum, change your thought process, and get back in the game of life and start appreciating what we have, because life is too short.
Absolutely. See you on the other end, John.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. We will see you out of the Northport Bocca Lupo coal-fired pizza. You can actually order from them online. If you're a nonprofit listening, go to their Bocca Lupo website and actually sign up for Pizza for a Cause. They pick a nonprofit every Tuesday, 52 weeks a year, to give back to the nonprofits and a school organization. They help sports teams also within the communities. So if you live in Northport or if you live in Charlotte County, reach out, sign up. And if you are not a nonprofit, it doesn't matter. Go in and support these businesses that do give back, and they give back all the time. And John, you made me cry. So I'm going off air. We'll be back on in about a half hour coming out of the Northport Bocca Lupo on Aiden Lane. So if you're out and about and if you want to be on air and you're wanting to hear and see John in person, go meet him up at the Bocca Lupo coal-fired pizza. It's behind the Perkins, right after by Aldi's there in the back lane, Aiden Lane, and go join them. Thank you so much, and